2012, I went to Zimbabwe, and I'd been to Zimbabwe on trips before, but there's something that happened on this particular trip. My eyes were opened, and I began to see things that I had not seen before. I started to see the needs of people, and my heart was moved. Where we talk about compassion, when you look into what that means, you then understand that compassion is more than just feeling sorry for someone. When compassion comes into your heart, it causes you to do something about what you have seen. That is exactly what happened. I saw that there were so many people who were in great need. There were so many people who were living in poverty. There were children who were struggling to go to school because their parents or their guardians were failing to raise the school fees that was required for the children to be in school. So what I did was that when I came back, I spoke to my husband and shared what I had seen. And we started to speak to our friends, so our own friends, but also our friends from church. And we told them about all these things. And we started to ask for help. And the way we started was like this. We were asking for used clothes, used shoes, books, and it's amazing that people started to give us all these items. And we started to ship this aid to Zimbabwe. And we were giving the aid to the most vulnerable in the communities, adults, children. And we then started to support some of the children to stay in education by paying their school fees. So we did this for some time, and people kept on giving us aid, giving us help, and we kept on shipping the aid. And then we realized at one point that the work was really growing, and there was no way we were going to tackle this work alone or in the way we were doing it. And in 2018, we felt that it was necessary to register a charity. So September 2018, we registered Leaping to Hope as a charity. So this is how Leaping to Hope came into existence. And it has been an amazing journey because we have seen the lives of people being changed and being transformed as we have been helping them where they live. And we have so far been able to help people mainly in Zimbabwe, but we have helped people in Nigeria, we have helped people in India, we have helped people in Botswana, we have helped people in Kenya, and also locally in the United Kingdom. But the work is huge. There is so much that needs to be done, and our what we have been focusing on really, as you can see, maybe on our website, on our Facebook page, we have been really working on preventing and relieving poverty to those who are vulnerable. We have been targeting children, and some of the children where we have been shipping aid, they are in children's homes. I remember one of the homes that is in Pepe in Zimbabwe. They look after children. Most of them, they are orphans, or they are children who had been abandoned, and others picked them, and this children's home looks after them. But we have worked with another orphanage as well. We work with local communities, local churches, and all of them, they help us to identify the most vulnerable, those who are in greatest need. And that's what we've been doing, targeting those who are in greatest need. And one time, as we have been doing this work, we realize that in terms of education in Zimbabwe, we realized that some of the children were actually leaving education completely because they had no means of being able to raise the required funds. And what we then decided to do was to continue to help these children. And we then realized that some of the people who were supporting us, they wanted to support some of these children on a long-term on a long-term basis. So what we then offered was the sponsorship program, which I will share another time, so you've got more information about it. So they were identifying children they want to support from all the children that we heard, and then they started to give money, some on a monthly basis, some they give us an amount that is sufficient to cover the cost for the year, and this will go towards their uniforms, their school fees, their stationery, and in amazing ways, some of the sponsors have then decided to go beyond that, but also donate towards the food and supplies for the children, for their day-to-day living and also their families. So it has really, really been an amazing journey, and we have seen great outcomes. We have seen the beneficiaries, receiving hope, because again, as the name says, leap into hope. We have seen people receiving hope, as we have been giving them what we call hope by doing all these different things. So maybe you have not heard about us. So let me tell you about who we are. So Leap into Hope is a registered charity here in the UK. And as I said before, our aim is to prevent and relieve poverty to those who are living in poverty-stricken communities all over the world. Though we have got countries that we are focusing on at the moment, namely Zimbabwe, we can also help in other countries. So we fund education, we donate towards the health system, because there is a great need. There are huge gaps as well in terms of prevention, but also even in terms of intervention. And I've already talked about the other things that we do. We also been providing meals for children, and the most recent project we have been working on, we've been feeding children, 156 children on each school day with a nutritious meal, and this was in Zimbabwe. Again, we realized that children, because of hunger, because of poverty, because of drought, some children were going to school without eating. And so we have been running this feeding program, and it has really made a big difference, as you will see in some of the stories that we are going to be sharing. And again, the outcomes have been amazing. The feedback from the teachers have been amazing. The feedback from the children themselves have been amazing as well. And maybe you are watching and you are wondering why we do what we do. And we are putting our faith into action. We have got Christian beliefs, and we are taking our faith into action in practical ways, rather than just seeing what we have seen and doing nothing about it. We have decided to put our faith into action, and we know from what we have seen already that is making a big difference, and we want to continue to do that, so that many people will continue to be helped, so that communities can overcome poverty, even the effects of poverty, and it is our really desire to see communities transformed, to see people's lives transformed, And where we get opportunities, we also do share the message of hope, because we know that in doing that, lives are changed and lives are transformed for the good, really. And we believe that some of the interventions we are giving, like education, that will give the children a long-term solution to the issues. Otherwise, when we don't do that, poverty will run from one generation to another in those families. So we believe that as we help these communities, we are giving them long-term solutions so that they too, they will come out from this cycle of poverty. Also, just to say, we do have a number of things that we care about when you think about prevention and relief of poverty. So one of the main ones is tackling hunger or dealing with hunger. And we have used different approaches. Like I said, we've used the feeding program. We have also been buying foods. We put them into packages, and those packages will contain all the main things that are needed in a day-to-day in day-to-day living, really. So we donate this to families so that they've got enough for what is needed on a day-to-day basis. Of course, we do what we can within the limits of the resources that we have. So we have also been donating food to children's homes, to the homes that look after the elderly. We have been donating food aid as well to other places where it's very difficult for food to get to. We have also been donating medical equipment, resources like blood pressure machines, glucometers. We've been donating medication to hospitals, because we know, for example, if you think of conditions like blood pressure, like diabetes, if it's not detected, it means that the right intervention would not be in place, which means that people will die younger or die when they should not actually die. So we are also thinking about all those things and the implications to the communities overall. We really care about period poverty. We have had stories of girls not being able to go to school because they don't have the right, they don't have the resources to protect themselves when they are among others, and they end up not going to school. And we have worked very hard with schools, providing pads for the girls. And the feedback they've given us, the difference those pads are making to their well-being is just amazing. And what the teachers have been saying to us about the difference that that these pads have made, it's just amazing what these things can do and the difference that they can make in other people's lives. We also really want to push for self-reliance, because we are not ignorant that when you give, for example, you just give food, it means that people become reliant on that. So we are not ignorant that this, doing it that way is a short-term solution. We are also looking at long-term solutions where communities can move towards self-reliance. So really we are looking for resources to enable us to help people to be self-reliant. It could be through income generating projects, and we are so keen to start on doing things like that. So these are some of the things that we really care about as Leap into Hope. So we really believe that we can give hope to the people who are living in poverty. We really believe that we can make a difference and stop poverty from ruining people's lives. We really believe that we can give hope again to the people who are probably looking at their situations and they're beginning to wonder how or if ever they will be able to come out of those situations one day. We really believe that, as we give them hope, they can see that, the possibilities that are around them, even as they've been living this hard life, living in poverty. So leap into hope, believe that, as we do this, we are creating capacity and opportunities for people to transform and change their lives so that their future will not be like it is now. So, if you think of it, you would say, oh, well, there are many charities out there. Why should we, support Leap into Hope? Let me say to you, by choosing to support Leap into Hope, you are joining a community of people who wants to make a difference to those who are struggling and living in poverty, whether it's in the UK or it's in Zimbabwe or other parts of the world. Our vision really is to see people released from poverty through a worldwide approach. As we prevent and relieve poverty, we give hope through practical ways and through sharing the message of hope. And our mission as Leap into Hope is to prevent or relieve poverty. And though we have got countries we are focusing on like Zimbabwe, but our mission is to reach other countries as well, so that we can reach out to those who are in great need. Our mission is to give or to restore hope to those in poverty, living in poverty. Through the support of others, we can help those suffering the effects of poverty in the world's poorest communities. We also share, as I said, the message of hope, which we have seen that it's also making a difference in people's lives. We also visit the places. In fact, we visited most of the places that we give hope in practical ways, like food, like sponsoring education. We have visited most of those places, so we know that the aid that we are sending or providing is being received by the people that it is intended for. So we are really grateful that because we have seen it with our very eyes, the difference that what we are doing is making in those people's lives. So I hope that you have got a good understanding of what we do. But let me also say there is so much information on our website, which is www.leapintohope.org. Also on our Facebook page, which is at Leap into Hope, you will find so much information about what we do, what we have been doing, and I'm sure you will see the difference that Leap into Hope is making even at this time. So thank you for sparing your time to hear and listen what Leap into Hope is up to.